Welcome, Jet fans, to another episode of the Jets Life podcast. I'm your host, Anthony. Today, we're going to recap what's been going on with the Jets over the last 7 days. As always, joined by none other than Big Dom. As he's pointing out, hit that like button. Please subscribe to the channel. How we are going to grow our target. We'll get to Jets talk, obviously. That's what we're here for. But obviously, being Knicks fans as well, we'll touch on a little bit of Game 3 and really all the games because last time we were on, the Knicks didn't play a game. Week later, they're up 2-1. Obviously, losing Game 3 was disappointing. But let's start things off. I mean, the title of the show, we're talking about Brendan Sorsby. Big news coming out of Texas court that his injunction has been approved. He's eligible to play in college for the coming year. However, updated news that I guess the NCAA is appealing that ruling. So it's going to be one of those things. I think Chambliss had a similar situation where it just went back and forth for a little while when he was trying to get that extra year of eligibility, and eventually he won. It's a little bit of a different situation because there's a pending suspension hanging over his head if he is to play college football. So I don't know what all that means at this point, but obviously a name we've been talking about for quite some time now. Obviously talking about him in respect to the 2027 class, thinking he might be an option should the Jets go that route, depending on where they're picking, obviously. But now, obviously, accelerating that trajectory, because if he is in the supplemental draft, you envision the Jets would be one of the 4-5 teams that might take a stab at him, in the second or third round. But Dom, I mean, I guess it's a lot of nothing here at this point in time. We still don't have a rule, but
it wasn't part of that.
It's going to play that game a little while. What are your thoughts here? And
I mean, the whole thing with Brendan Sorsby and all that wasn't also part of that. He was going to get suspended for 2 games only. I read
in college or the NFL.
In college.
I didn't read anything about a pending suspension, but
2-game suspension or something like that.
2 games for gambling against your own team that you were playing for.
I mean, it's weird.
I'm just saying, very, very light.
Yeah, I was going to say it's a very weird situation. I mean, I was I was shocked first of all that the courts, they appealed the court and he got the ruling to come back, and there we go. And now they're the NCAA is actually going back at it. So it's just kind of weird how, it's a gambling offense. How if he only misses 2 games, what is that telling everybody in college? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think that would. I mean, I don't know. I'm trying to think. I think there was a college where a player got in trouble for. I mean, I don't remember off the top of my head because it is what it is. But I think there was.
Yeah, you remember Jameis Winston? He got in trouble for stealing crab legs.
Yeah, I don't think he missed games for it.
That shit was all over the news, though. I was like, damn.
It was all over the news, but I don't think he got suspended any games. Maybe he did. I don't remember.
That was just weird.
I'm trying to quickly read through this article I found here. I don't see anything specifically calling out how many games he would be suspended for. But I would think that.
I mean, I would think at minimum 6 games, right?
I don't know. There's NFL precedent. I mean, I guess that's probably a good resource to use. There's NFL precedent out there for Calvin Ridley got suspended for an entire season. I mean, yeah. I don't know what the ruling would look like on something like that if he were to get through all this court stuff and eventually be eligible to play in 2026 for the season for Texas Tech. But listen, at the end of the day, if he is able to play, it's just better situation for the Jets. It's another name in the hat for 2027. Another player you can evaluate. If he does get an opportunity to play some games this year, you're at least going to see him against hopefully some better competition than he was playing with at Cincinnati. He didn't really play at Indiana.
I mean,
yeah,
listen,
you would get a big bump in competition for that, for sure.
I mean, it's the more the merrier, man. I listen. This is gonna be the one year where we're all eyeing these quarterbacks. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna be watching every one of these quarterbacks play. You know what I'm saying? So it's gonna be like every week we're gonna break down like who we think is the hottest quarterback as far as playing wise, the big build. You know, who would fit the Jets more. You know what I'm saying? Because you gotta understand also Frank Reich. You know what he's looking for is more of a like a 6'4" type quarterback, and you got to look at all these prospects out there. I mean, if this is the route they're going, let's say he's sticking around and Aaron Glenn finds a way to win 8-9 games, that's where we're going to head up going towards. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, Frank Reich got his pick of the litter at quarterback. What? Wait, no, was it?
No, it wasn't him.
Did he pick what's his face? Bryce Young?
No,
I think he was the guy that picked Bryce Young.
So? I'm not sure about that.
I think it was.
Yeah, but Bryce Young was like friggin' phenomenal in college, dude. He was definitely the best quarterback to be taken there. You know what I'm saying? That year, at least.
Yeah, but that's where you fall into that situation where it's like the only quarterback, because I don't think
that
there
was
was
the
many
Bryce
other options.
Young and C.J. Stroud year, right?
Oh, that's right. C.J. Stroud was that year too.
Yeah, I remember Carolina.
That's interesting when you look at that. I mean, I know C.J. Stroud had a little bit of a down year last year, and he's been kind of regressing each year after his rookie year. But yeah, if you're Carolina, you passed on Stroud for Bryce Young. Yeah, it's not like earth-shattering, but C.J. Stroud obviously had a little bit more highlights.
He had better success so far.
Yeah.
I mean, out of the two,
So when Bryce Young was a rookie, Frank Reich was his head coach. So
he was.
So yeah, Frank Reich was involved.
He got fired that year too.
He got fired like 8 games in.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
Jeez. It was a little bit of a shit show situation.
Well, that's not his type of quarterback. He was wrong. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I guess it was more of the GM power type of deal, They probably wanted Bryce Young, and that was it.
Maybe.
But anyhow,
that's Bryce Young. That's Panthers. But listen, I know the situation here with the Jets is like we're in the middle of June. Not a lot to talk about. I mean, we can do plenty of stuff to talk about them, but obviously there's a little bit of.
Didn't they? What's his name? The wide receiver get cut today. Was it Stiggers? No, what was his name over there?
No, it was.
They brought somebody in and got rid of one of our guys. I think
it was Skinner.
Skinner,
yeah,
Skinner's.
Stiggers at the corner.
Yeah,
yeah. I mean that's just basically like, just adding another guy that you're eventually going to cut when it comes time for 53-man cut down. I mean,
that's all it
is. I mean, it's just rotating the bottom. 20 players on your 90-man roster or whatever it is.
I'll tell you, the one thing I would like the Jets to do, though, I mean, I would say is bring in, if they can, another linebacker, because they're one injury away from that linebacker corps being complete garbage, dude. I'm telling you right now. It's going to be like the mess,
Yeah, I think they will. I think their route to doing it, though, will be seeing who becomes available on cut down day type of thing. Because they'll definitely bring in another body for sure. Because I mean, who are you going to find?
No, I get it.
In the middle of June, that's worth it. I agree with you. That's probably the position I would say you add another player.
Yeah,
you can say another quarterback, obviously, but
I think
I don't really have an interest in that unless it's just
a pretty good quarterback room. We got Geno Smith, Bradley Zappi, and our boy Klubnik.
What about
Oh, yeah. He's still there.
What was Cook? What's his first?
Brady Cook.
Brady Cook.
Yeah, maybe he'll have.
Oh my God.
Well, no, I don't know. It's gonna be interesting. The way I look at it, dude, we're going away next week. By the time we get back, we got 2-3 weeks, bro. And next thing you know, it's gonna be. When does usually the mini camp start? Mid-July.
Training camp.
Yeah.
It's usually like the usual report, the last week of July. and then like have a 3-day like conditioning crap, whatever the hell they do.
And that's when things are going to start heating up again. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's usually what happens, especially when fans start going to the practices, and you get some reports from fans, the reporters, a lot more stuff. OTAs, like it's mostly closed doors. Like I think there's like a few open practices to the media here and there.
Yeah.
And the media is not even allowed to really report. What was that?
They're not even allowed to say anything.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff they're restricted from talking about. The only thing you really have to look forward to with OTAs is like, okay, how are the rookies doing, and get some sort of context like that. But outside of that, it's really just generally like a quiet time.
All right, it's a good quiet time. We watch our Mets and Knicks. The World Cup is coming up, so we got a whole month of World Cup coming up.
Mets blow. They're terrible.
Dude, I don't know.
I don't know.
Enzo's convinced like this team's going to turn around and win 90 games or something like that. I don't know where he's getting this from, dude.
I don't know either, man.
Dude, that miserable. That's like the Knicks were 20 years ago. That's how bad they are.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say that bad. They were in the final. They're in the, quarterfinals or semifinals, the championship series a couple years ago. So I mean, there's that. The Knicks are terrible. The Knicks are bad. Like,
yeah. I mean,
tanking every year, and still, and then every single year in the lottery, they always like dip down. They never like moved up. Like,
dude, when you have superstars like Lindor and Soto on your lineup, this team should not be as bad as they are.
Well, Lindor's been out for a while too, I think.
Oh, he's not back yet? I thought he came back.
I mean, I don't think so. I haven't been tuned in by any means. Like,
especially with the Knicks running right now, I don't care about anything else.
Especially with the Knicks running right now, like, if the Mets were doing halfway decent, I'd tune in here and there. Like I definitely can't put together a 162 game season. That's just not in my blood. I'll like check the stats, whatever. If it's a close game, then I'll turn it on. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, that's the thing too. Like, they would have like pitchers you're excited to see. Like when McClain was pitching, like last year, he was like dominant. This year, he's just not been the same.
He turned into a scrub.
I don't know what happened.
Whatever.
Mets pitching coach is probably blow, just like everything else.
Yeah. So what's up with this David Bailey, man? He's turning heads, is right.
But yeah, we'll see what happens. But where as I was mentioning, like the rookies. What was that?
David Bailey turning heads, huh?
Yeah, so I brought this up a little bit here. There were some press conferences, a lot of players talking about, whatever the heck they're talking about. But Demario Davis went to the podium, and they asked him specifically about Bailey. And listen, at the end of the day, the Jets picked second overall. They did get a good player. Was he the player I wanted? Obviously not. Been well documented. I would have even preferred Ruben Bain over him. Obviously, Ruben Bain's arms is something that a lot of teams had concerns with, hence why he fell to 15.
That's crazy.
Tampa.
But
that's not a concern I had. I would have probably taken him at 2 if the Jets wanted a true edge player and not, an Arvell Reese type of player. Bain would have probably been my number 2 guy. Bailey would have probably been my 3rd option out of these players.
I mean, they must have really loved him, man, to want him at number 2, man. There was no discussion. It was him the whole time. You know what I'm saying?
The thing about Bailey, and it's something like a lot of people didn't like his run defense, and it was a little bit of a problem. I will say that. But just like a player like Arvell Reese, who's going to have to develop as an edge player and as a pass rusher, every player has to develop in areas. It's just the way it is. You would like a number 2 overall pick to be a guy that is solid against the run and can produce as a pass rusher. But I'm not going to say he is this guy. But I don't know if you remember the name of Von Miller. Von Miller was talked about as a very similar prospect who struggles against the run, and
Bro, he dominated football, dude. Von Miller. Listen,
he won a Super Bowl.
Yeah,
let's be real.
Listen,
I wasn't a Peyton Manning Super Bowl. Peyton Manning was a shell of himself in that Super Bowl run.
Shoot, I mean, I'm on the David Bailey run now. I mean, he's on our team. We got to love him and support him. Listen, I think he's going to be a good player. You know what I'm saying? The thing is, our coaches coach him up? You know what I'm saying? Can they turn this guy into an elite pass rusher where he can be okay against the run. Maybe not shit like McDonald against the run, but maybe he's better than McDonald against the run. You know, I mean, listen, it's all going to come down to Aaron Glenn and that coaching staff, dude. It really is. You know, they have a pure. I mean, they have a plan in place for this kid. So
yeah, and let's talk right into that. That was the next topic of my conversation here. Is this Jets defensive philosophy? I don't know how, if you've been listening to the interviews and stuff like that. Like, again, it's been very difficult to keep up on all sports stuff with obviously everything going on with the Knicks. But Jets defensive philosophy, I know Glenn and Fitzpatrick, both Minka Fitzpatrick, both went up to the media and, you know, kind of talked about what this defense is going to look like and what they are hoping out of it. And I think they used the word of they want to put quarterbacks in a blender. They want them to like be confused. And that's been something I've talked about for a long time. And that's another reason why I was a huge proponent to Arvell Reese, is because he's a player you can throw in everywhere. But when you look at this team as a whole, like when you look at the secondary, you got multiple safety options between Belton, Moore, Cisco, obviously Fitzpatrick. Fitzpatrick can also play nickel. Hans is the guy that I think will excel at nickel. They still have Brownlee from last year, although he missed a lot of time with the injuries and stuff like that. Had some issues with, you know, flags and stuff like that. You know, it is what it is. But he's still a player that, you know, you put out there as a potential nickel option. That's 3 players that can play a specific role. You got 4 safety options to rotate, all with some level of experience. Cisco is a guy we were pretty excited about to some extent when they got him last year. Obviously wasn't the player that, you know, we kind of thought he could be what he showed for a few years in Jacksonville. And then the defensive line, obviously, like we documented it. They brought in a lot of bodies that do different things in that front 7. And then the outside corners, so you got Brandon Stevens, you got Zaria Thomas, you got Sean Wright, you got Stiggers, who, you know, not the greatest outside, but, you know, he's had some opportunities out there and he's been pretty okay. You know, for when they drafted him.
Dude, he's depth. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's just a defense that looks like one of those, like, you know, versatile, you know, can do a little bit of everything type of thing. And that's kind of what you need. When you look at the Jets when they were at their peak, you know, 2009, 2010, you know, you had guys coming off the bench like it had a bow, or remember Hidegabo, whatever.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about. I know who you're talking about.
The guy always did the dig when he made a
good though. He was good off the bench.
He was solid. He would come in there and you would see that dig thing at least like once every couple of games. 100% you were seeing him dig. And you know, that was his thing, whatever. You know, Kotri, when he was there, like he was brought in as a role piece that eventually developed very quickly.
He did.
Into a number 2 option for them and eventually a 3rd option when they kind of bolstered that receiving core. This is what it takes. You got to build from the ground up, and you got to bring in a lot of bodies that are going to potentially turn into something better for you. And you know, that's when Aaron Glenn took over his defense. That's what we want to see. We want to see a defense that can eventually develop into something special with, like, you know, a lot of different players that can do different things. And you know, maybe a couple of these players can stick around and actually be something for the long haul. But
I hope so, man, because they haven't had that in a while, dude.
Yeah, you know,
we got to develop our own, man, and keep our own. That's the key. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure.
Nice, especially on defense, man. I mean, listen, I always like the Jets having that great defense. You know what I'm saying? Even the Rex Ryan years, the early Saleh years. When listen, we had a great defense. We just had a shit fucking offense. But hopefully, you know, we could have a top 15, 10 unit in defense this year. That'll be pretty good. You know, offense, can they get into the 20, 21, 19 area? You get that, there's a chance for playoffs. You know what I'm saying?
What would you rather have? All right. An elite defense, but a terrible offense?
No.
Or,
I've seen that already.
No, or, hold on, a 12 to 15th ranked offense with a bottom 10 defense.
Bottom 10. So if we're in the bottom 10, but the top of that, I'd rather see that. I don't want that. You know, no listen, we haven't seen good offense in so long. All right, so we're due for offense now.
I think it's like pretty well. You gotta hit the quarterback. I wouldn't say anybody's due for anything. You just gotta fucking figure out the quarterback and get the right one.
That's it.
But yeah, just I thought pretty little funny conversation because obviously the Jets, like, as Jet fans, like that's like the easiest answer possible because we've suffered offensively for so long. But
let's do it the other way. So would you rather have a top 5 offense with a bottom 5 defense, or the other way around?
Top 5 offense for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. You know what it is?
Because here's the thing. Like, the way the NFL is, like, if you have a top 5 offense, you're probably going to be an 8 to 10 win team. Like, it's just the way it is. Like, if you're an elite offense, your defense is going to do something, even as bad as they are. They're going to do something to make it stop, and your offense is going to come in there and make a few plays.
I mean, look at Cincinnati. Bengals a perfect example. Their defense was garbage, like, 3 years ago? But their offense was like top 3. You know what I'm saying? When Burrow was healthy that year.
That was a bad defense too.
Yeah, it was.
That was bad.
Didn't even stop a nosebleed. You know what I'm saying?
Terrible that year.
So think about it. They didn't even make the playoffs. They missed it, right? So think about that. Would you rather that?
Yeah, I think that wasn't that the year they started off like 0-3. I mean, they do this every year.
They started off cold.
I think they started off 0-3.
They made a nice little run. You know, they made a run at the end, but it wasn't strong enough.
Yeah, it wasn't enough.
You know,
I think that was the year where like the Steelers made the playoffs. Everyone was all pissed off because like
they're the same record like that too.
And you could in the playoffs, but wasn't to be.
No.
Do we tip our cap? Younghoe Koo
got cut. I can't believe it.
Jet. You know,
he kicked the dirt, bro.
Let it make it a week.
Hey, listen, I'm actually pumped up about Sanders coming in. You know what I'm saying? Because 2 years ago, this kid was a Pro Bowler, wasn't he?
Yeah, but the Pro Bowl is like a shit show now. I know.
No, but I'm saying, but he was a good kicker, though.
Yeah,
Kickers want to go to the Pro Bowl, bro.
No, he's pretty good.
It's not like you're a quarterback or receiver. You don't want to go to the Pro Bowl. If you're a kicker, you get invited, you're going. Bro, you're going to Hawaii. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean,
are they still doing that shit in Hawaii? Or are they moving around?
They do it in Orlando. I think.
In Orlando, right? Yeah, at that I forgot. You went there one year, right?
No, I was gonna go. I didn't make it.
Okay, gotcha.
But yeah, Younghoe Koo obviously out after a couple of bad practices, especially one in front of the media, where he missed a 50-yard field goal wide right, and then I think doinked a kick following that. And then Sanders.
Why are we the only team, right, that has to go through a merry-go-round of kickers? Like, why can't we just land our kicker? You know what we do? We develop kickers for everybody else. We did it with Jason Myers. We did it with Nick Folk. I mean, bro, they weren't. If you would have kept those guys, you talk about 20 years of kicking that would have been solidified. You know what I'm saying? But every year, I mean, how many kickers have we had in the last 10 years? Or maybe let's say, 20 years. Bro, probably about a dozen. At least
probably
maybe more.
You're probably averaging at least one a year on that one.
That's what I'm saying. It's like ridiculous. Like, why can't they just friggin' find their kicker and just like keep them?
I'll tell you what, though, somebody was probably right all along. Johnny Boy. Talking about Dom Zvada, no matter what.
Yeah,
because
he's turning heads in the Giants. He's on the Giants, right?
I mean, the Giants cut Sanders, so.
He must be
cut an experienced kicker if you have some promise. I mean, I think there's another younger kicker there too. That's also like, playing well, whatever. So they probably just want to go with one of the young guns, and they
hopefully they're both really good. One gets cut and we sign the other one. That'd be fun too. Because that's what happened.
Harbaugh even said like we cut Sanders because we have a couple good kickers here, but Sanders will get picked up pretty quickly, and obviously the Jets pounced on it. Low moving costs for Sanders. All he has to do is.
And he's relatively young too, right? Is he like 33, something like that? Somewhere.
He's relatively young. I think he was
only for the next 10 years, bro.
He was only with the Dolphins for like 6 years or something like that.
Yeah, that's all it was. Maybe he's our kicker for the next 5 to 10 years. That would be nice.
30 years old.
Yeah, young guy.
AFC Special Teams Player of the Week and Month awards.
No, the kid's solid. I'll take him. Now, can he kick in the cold weather?
That's obviously like the concern because he played with the Dolphins.
Yeah.
I haven't analyzed his splits of
the only way.
how do you do against the Bills, how do you do against New England.
We'll see.
I know when he played the Jets, he made some long ass field goals. So there is that. We've seen him do it.
Like I said, I think that we kind of got one here. Maybe, you know what I'm saying? 30 years old. At least, like I said, if he's a good kicker, can he stick around for 5 fucking years? Come on. Like I don't want to talk about kickers.
We'll see. We need someone. We need someone eventually kicking game-winning field goals when we have a rookie quarterback next year. Let's see what it is.
We might have one already, man. It might be club, bro.
Yeah. Well,
we'll see. Man.
That's what all I got in Jets news, bro. This is fucking like this is the worst time of the year.
Yeah.
Just like from a news standpoint, you got to basically make your own news the best that you can. But obviously, let's go into the Knicks life. If you're only here for Jets content, we're gonna round this episode out with some Knicks talk. If you're here for the Knicks talk, definitely leave a comment and subscribe and like to us too. It's all we can appreciate all of it. But Dom, like I said, last time we talked, it was day before Game 1 of the NBA Finals, and the Knicks go, into San Antonio, take the first 2 games, come home. A raucous environment. Donald Trump was there, Secret Service locking down around the arena. All the celebrities were out. There was definitely a lot of distractions around, but the Knicks fall in Game 3, their first home game in Madison Square Garden for 18 games. Their first home NBA Finals game in 27 years since losing to the Spurs in Game 5. So
2027.
Yep.
No, 1999. That's what I meant. Yeah.
I knew what you meant. But what did you think about the environment first off? And
listen, Knicks fans showed up. I mean, that's for sure. The environment was friggin' hostile. Okay. I mean, they were going nuts. It was so I couldn't wait just to see them coming out of the tunnel, just to see how MSG was going to blow up, dude. Mm-hmm. They said that there was an earthquake in Miami. That wasn't an earthquake.
From New York?
It came from New York, my friend. That's how it was rumbling, dude. It was chaotic. So, unfortunately, it didn't turn out the way we wanted it to turn out. There's a lot to say about how they lost this game. But listen, it's one game. It's put it behind us. Let's move forward. We got to win Game 4. Because there is not one. Let me tell you something. You do not want to go 2-2 back to San Antonio.
Nope.
That will be that would be the end.
Well, the biggest issue there, obviously, tying the series after you won the first 2 games in San Antonio is a big problem. 2, you lose home field advantage again.
Yes, you do.
In a situation where you won the first 2 games on the road, you would think you're never going to have to give up home field advantage again, but you can lose it quickly if you don't win game 4. But yeah, I thought the environment was good too. The one thing I'll say, I mentioned this on social media too, and kind of got a little backlash from it. But I felt like the environment was good. Like the energy was obviously there.
Right.
My biggest problem with it is I never felt like it got to MSG level electricity. And what I mean by that is I just feel like the game was so slow because of all the whistles, all the fouls.
Well, that's the problem.
Every single time, and it's not even I'm not even just saying it from a perspective of the refs are calling all the fouls on the Knicks and then Knicks fans are terrible. I'm saying it was across the board. There was a point in the game, in the middle of the game, where the Knicks and the Spurs were going shot for shot, battle for battle, and you can see at that point in time that it was starting to build. Even though the Knicks weren't making stops on the other side and they were making shots on their side, it was a good sequence. The Knicks were making shots. They were making shots. Knicks were missing. They were playing good defense on the other side. And there was a good period of time where, they were staying within a 6 to 8 point range, whatever. And this is before the run in the second quarter. I felt like at that point in time, there was something brewing. And then obviously, the Knicks at the end of the half, you started feeling that electricity. You really felt like it was there.
Right.
Then the second half came around and the friggin'
that's where I got old. Yeah, it got bullshit. It was bullshit, dude. Mm-hmm. I'm telling you. I've never. And you know what? Listen, we're gonna complain because we're Knicks fans. we didn't get the calls, but you could clearly see the difference. So first of all right, how many times did the San Antonio Spurs get to that foul line and shoot fucking foul shots?
In the second half, it was 24-8.
Right. Figure that out for a second. And you're telling me, bro, I've seen Cat get hacked. I've seen Brunson get hacked. OG get hacked. Dude, under the basket. They're not calling these players. But now you get friggin' what's his name takes a shot and he rubs his hair. He gets a foul for that. I mean, come on. This is like so fucking biased, dude. I'm telling you, the NBA is fucking rigged, dude. I'm telling you, they didn't want the Knicks to win that game.
Well, they want a long series, and that's the thing behind it. They do this all the time. It happens all the time with them.
Well, but you cannot do that.
They tried in game 2. Don't forget that they tried in game 2 as well.
They did with OG. We had a friggin' thank God we had an extra timeout where we could review a challenge. We could challenge that play. Otherwise, we weren't getting that. Mm-hmm. You know that, right? I mean, come on.
Obviously, they're not going to do anything for the NBA Finals, but the NBA has got to adjust their rules on challenges because, I think the Knicks had 2 challenges in this last game and won them both.
Yeah,
and
you get a third one
after you challenge twice, you have no more.
But you should get a third one if you hit 2.
I think you should just keep getting them. You should just keep getting them until you get them wrong.
Yeah.
Like honestly, if the refs are that terrible, and they were this game, if the refs are that terrible that you call them out twice on bad calls, like why should you be penalized by not being able to correct them again on a third time if you feel it necessary? The officiating has been terrible. It was terrible in game 2. It was terrible in game 3. Obviously, I'm not saying the Knicks lost because of the refs. It obviously had something to do with it. Spurs shot 10 more free throws than the Knicks did in the entire game and won by 4 points.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, think about that.
Even Mitchell Robinson, if he went to the free throw line,
he would have freaking
10 times. Even if he went 10 times, the Knicks could have gone. You know what I mean? Like
4 out of 10, hopefully.
His career percentage is 37%. So at least you're dealing with a 1-point game at that time. And that's the thing too. They out free throwed us in this game by 10, and they did do a hack and Mitch in the middle of this game at some point in time.
It's ridiculous, dude. It really is.
It's a crazy situation. But at the end of the day, if the Knicks do what they've been doing, and there's been no ifs, ands, or buts about them in the 13-game winning streak, they've been going into these games and they've been dominating from the start to finish.
Bro, they haven't lost a game.
Bro,
they haven't lost a game. What, more than 4 points? This whole friggin'. That was the first game they lost by 4.
This the first time was more than 1 point. The first time was more than 1 point loss.
Yeah, exactly. They lost the 2 games to Atlanta by 1 point each, and this was 4. Okay, we've been blowing teams out. Okay, so you know what? Listen, I expect the Knicks. I'll tell you right now, it's going to be friggin' dirty again on Game 4. It's not going to be as now. San Antonio is coming to play. You got what I'm saying? So I'm telling you right now. I mean, we're going to have to D up big time, dude.
Did you hear about this? Did you hear about the NBA's reviewing the Wemby foul on Brunson?
Oh, they really
for a flagrant? And
so what's that going to do?
If it gets upgraded to a flagrant, and if he gets another flagrant for the rest of the series, he'll miss one. He'll be suspended for a game.
Oh, good. He's a dirty player, man. That motherfucker is like sloppy, dude. Dude, I'm telling you right now. I hate to say it, dude. I'll tell you right now. I would throw Huck Body out there and just fucking deck him, punch him in the face. I don't care. If he's gonna play like that and hit our star, I don't want Brunson to do it because I don't want him to get ejected. So you throw your scrub in there and just pop him right in his face.
And they're gonna retaliate, do the same shit. But
well, they started it. What the hell, bro? You come to New York and mess with us like that, dude. But anyway,
obviously, I'm not gonna condone taking a player out. But
no, I'm not saying take him out, like hurt him, but deck him anyway. Like, and he wants to drive towards and that's another thing. Dude, where's the defense when people want to drive to the net, man? Where are the bodies there, dude? What happened to that? Like, they don't get physical inside anymore.
It's on Knicks.
I'm talking about both. I mean, more than Knicks. San Antonio plays very physical.
Yeah.
Inside the paint. The Knicks haven't been as physical. They need to. When these guys come in for an easy layup, no.
Here's the problem with that. And this is another reason why the officiating is a little a problem for the Knicks.
Yeah.
It's taking away their physicality. Like they can't play as physical because they're getting called for everything. They are still playing decent defense.
No,
this last game, Spurs made all their shots. They were making
They were. Listen, listen. They came to play, and listen. That game should have been. Listen, if the Knicks weren't getting those bad calls, okay, Knicks should have won that game too, dude. We only lost by 4 points, and I'll tell you right now, the reason we lost was because of the officiating.
Well,
the officiating.
I would throw more into that. The Spurs
give us 4 more fouls.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Points.
I'm not saying that, but the Knicks could have also won this on their own too. 13 turnovers to 8 was a problem, and not even just that. On the 13 turnovers, the Spurs scored 21 points.
Yeah, they did.
On the Knicks 8 turnovers, they only scored 7.
Yeah, that's a problem.
So that's a big thing right there. Like if you want to point to one thing, I would say it's that. But that's the secondary thing, obviously, like you can't ignore the officiating. It was a problem.
You heard what Mike Brown said.
Yeah,
I mean, dude, he's coming out saying it, dude. And usually you don't do that. You know what I'm saying?
No. You do it when you feel like, obviously any game could be officiated poorly. Like if you're doing it after one game, that's a problem. But he saw it in game 2, kept his mouth shut. Knicks played physical, did it again in game 3. Now it's time to say something because this is unacceptable. Like it really is. The NBA needs to do something about this. They need to straighten this shit up because the Knicks have been the better team in the series in every single game. The fact that the officiating was terrible in game 2 was the reason why the Spurs were able to make that 14-point comeback. A big reason why. Obviously, the Spurs made their shots, but there was a lot of and-one opportunities. There was a lot of just trips to the free throw line. You can't tell me the Spurs were playing immaculate defense. They were playing good defense, but you can't tell me they were playing immaculate, elite, foul-free defense. There was opportunities where the Knicks could have also gone to the free throw line, highlighted by you on the Anunoby 3-point play that we had to challenge.
Yeah,
it was obvious.
Yeah. Otherwise,
you stripped them right in the
if we didn't have our challenge, we would have got screwed.
Yeah.
And the other thing too, I mean, listen, Shamet.
Not even just that, Dom. Not even just that.
What?
Another point there too. If Anunoby doesn't hit that ball out of bounds, you're not challenging it. You can't challenge it.
Get out of here.
If San Antonio would have blocked it and got possession, you can't challenge during live action. You can't just call a challenge in a live play.
Oh, so meaning the ball went out of bounds, then you could challenge.
The ball went out of bounds, stopped the play, and it allowed for the Knicks to be able to challenge it. So, you want to talk about that stuff. Like that's a situation where, Anunoby was obviously going to hit it out of bounds. Plus the shot clock was winding down, so you probably end up like with a stoppage anyway because of that. So you probably still are able to challenge it. But in a sequence like that, where if the Spurs got the ball in their hands, that's 3 points left on the table that the Knicks would have never seen. But good thing for Brown.
I mean, what do you think the Knicks got to do game 4 to stop this? I mean,
they just got to play clean. And Mike Brown talked about it too in his his press conference, whatever. Coming out in the game, they were already down 7 points pretty quickly.
They were. They started off there. They
got down to 12, and then eventually came back
in the second half. I mean, second quarter.
I mean, I almost feel like that was like the halftime was such a good thing for the Spurs because let's say Knicks came out of the half like that, I don't think the Spurs survived.
No, they could.
The Garden would have been electric.
You've seen it. It was starting already, man. It was
already there. It was already there. That was the moment where you're like, okay, the Garden is here, whatever. But then the Knicks end it. They go to halftime, and you know what happens out of the half? Like fans aren't in their seats yet for the first 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Not 5 minutes, but first 3 or 4 minutes, whatever it is.
They get to the seats too.
And by the time they got to their seats, it was already a tie game again. You know what I mean? Like
they started off
the Knicks got sloppy. I think
a lot of
first
turnovers.
3 sequences, they had 2 turnovers.
Yeah, the first 3 sequences. Brunson, Shamet, friggin' McBride. Dude, you know what? Listen, I'm tired of seeing McBride out there. I'm totally done with this kid. Like he plays. I can't deal with the fact that he'll
Who
come
is
in.
it you're saying?
McBride.
Oh, McBride?
Yeah, man. I'll tell you.
Well, they took him out quick.
Yeah, because he stunk.
Yeah. They took him out quick. But you know what though? Like you still gotta. They're still gonna put him in there, and
keep Brunson
fresh. If he can make his shots, that's a huge thing.
100%. We need that Brunson. We need that McBride.
Even Shamet was terrible from 3.
He was. He won.
It was a lot. 1 for 7. Was it 1 of 8? I think it was 1 of 7 when I saw it, but maybe
he hits 2 more of those. We won the game. That's all I gotta say.
Brunson has not been great.
Yeah,
45% from the field. I mean,
I'll tell you the one thing too, and you've seen it first 2 games, and this is where I knew the officials were getting on us. Bro, friggin' Josh Hart, game 1. He had 4 fucking fouls in the second quarter.
Mm-hmm.
Remember? He had to sit out the whole second quarter, come into the third, then he got fouled again. He had 5 fouls going into that fourth quarter.
Same in game 1, I did?
First game. In game 1, yeah. And then game 1, same thing with Cat. They were piling up on him too. Game 2.
Well, game two, do you remember, like, he had the 2, like, back-to-back possessions where they called fouls on him, and they were both, like...
And they were both freaking, are you serious calling that shit? You know what I'm saying? Like, I think
Richard Jefferson was the one that said, like, on both plays, like, I wouldn't have called that. Like, that's...
Right. He said, I heard him too. But let me tell you something. Josh Hart, as long as you... Listen, he doesn't score a ton of points, but he is the heart and soul of that defense.
He did in game 3. Game 3, he had a big game.
He did.
He had 18 points.
And you would think, if he had 18 points, okay, Knicks should have easily won this game.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, they won the first 2 games where he averaged 1.5 points per game.
Yeah, exactly. What did Bridges have this last game? 3 points? He had a cold game.
Last game, I think he only made 1 basket. I think he only had 2 points.
Yeah, it was very cold. Like I said, it was very.
But he only shot 5 times.
Yeah,
like that's a problem too. Like, Brunson had a lot of points, but he also shot like 26 times. Like,
yeah, man, dish it out, dude.
Well, and that's another problem too.
Towns was a little quiet yesterday too.
Mm-hmm.
But hey, they got to wake up tomorrow, and that's it. There's nothing else to say.
So I think the Knicks had like their lowest like assist percentage like on field goals made for the entire in the entire season.
In this game here.
Yeah, I think it was like 45% of the 45% of their free throws were not free throws. Field goals were made off assists. So, Mike Brown's a guy that, lives and dies with, pass the ball to the open guy, get the open look.
Yeah, you know what? I've noticed that too. Like even the passing in yesterday's game wasn't as crisp neither, dude. Like you said, 13 turnovers, dude. That's not good. You're going to lose games like that.
It was actually 16 points per Hart, but still.
Bro, like you said, 5 times as much as he did all freaking first
whole series
games. Yeah.
3 points combined, the whole series, I think, is what he had.
Game 2 was just like he was irrelevant, but game 1 he was there though. He played, even though he only had the 3 points, whatever it was.
I think he had like 12 boards, 16,
like that. Yeah, 16 boards.
Yeah, and that's huge when you have a guy like Wembanyama on the other side. Like that's
dude. He's 6'8" and he's 7'4". Go figure.
The Knicks need to bring up that physicality with Wembanyama. I don't know what happened last game.
You know who I'm a little shocked at too, though. I mean, listen,
Towns.
After that injury, OG hasn't been the same either.
What do you mean? You had an awesome game yesterday.
No, but I'm just saying, like his physicality, like the way he plays, he's not as physical as he used to be.
He's driving the lane on Wembanyama multiple times in the series.
No, I'm talking about defensively. Like, listen, the guy he's a defensive MVP. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Like, get in his face. I don't know why they don't put OG on him. They put more of what's his name on him though, Cat.
They put a lot of Cat on him. I honestly thought they were going to do OG. I don't know. I don't know why they aren't.
Because you'll get
at least as the primary body, and if Wembanyama tries driving in, guess who's waiting for him in the middle? It's Towns or Mitchell Robinson.
Yeah.
Which Mitchell Robinson had a really, really rough game yesterday, one-on-one with Wembanyama. He only played 7 minutes.
Yeah.
I think that was the first time I really saw him get beat down on defense, like with Wembanyama just skating by him. He played really well in game 2. Well, yeah, game 2 he had the defense on the game-winning shot.
Yeah.
There were a couple sequences where he kept up with him. Yesterday was just a game where I think Wembanyama
I just think they're all flat, dude. They came out flat yesterday, and that's it. We could just say that. Now it's in their heads. They need to rebound. Mike Brown is getting into their heads. Friggin' Brunson is like, all right, listen, guys, let's get to work. If we cannot, we're 2 games away from winning this goddamn thing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we're still up. Yeah. We are still up. You know what I'm saying? Let's take game 4. We'll still have home field court. Let's go.
Yeah, that's the key. Just
forget
about home court. Just win tomorrow.
Win your home games.
You can win whatever. They're all home games moving forward.
That's it. Don't lose another home game.
You can win game 5. If the Knicks do win game 4, if they win game 4, game 5 is going to be, a similar situation to the first 2 games in San Antonio. First game was okay with the Knicks crowd. Second game, was obviously a lot better. Game 5, there will be a lot of Knicks fans there in San Antonio.
I guarantee it.
You know, I don't know how like they find their way into these stadiums and these arenas, whatever, and in bunches, but they will be there in San
They sell the tickets, bro. They give them an offer they can't refuse. That's the New York way.
The thing that's weird about that is like you have season tickets unless you're a corporation. If you're a corporation, that's one thing.
That's what it is. It's corporation.
Yeah, that is what it is. These corporations buy the season tickets, and when it gets to this point, this is where they're able to bank.
Yeah,
but
they make their money for next year. You know what I'm saying?
Dude, can you imagine some of these prices though?
Dude, I was 2 tickets at courtside, $1 million.
Yeah,
but that was a lot of it for a donation. I heard I had to do a lot with a donation thing.
Yeah, I think was that the WFAN thing, whatever. Yeah,
that was cool though. I like that.
Yeah,
they should talk more about.
What was the cause for it?
I don't remember. Mm-hmm. But it was good. I mean, listen, we're gonna be watching that shit tomorrow night together. All right, so we're gonna bring New York Knicks to Tampa.
Mm-hmm.
And we're gonna party.
We don't need to worry about champagne yet, but you know what's crazy too? I'm looking at the box score. You know that not a single Knick had over 10 rebounds yesterday.
Really? Even Josh Hart, he was out there for a while.
Nobody. Josh Hart had 9. Was the most.
Almost, yeah.
And nobody had 5. Towns had 8. Playing 38 minutes. Towns had 8.
Yeah,
that's a little.
They were hitting a lot of their shots, though. Well, that's another thing. I'll be honest with you. Like for instance, I haven't seen them post out and like double team Wemby at all either yet.
They're gonna have to.
They're gonna have to. Is right.
They're gonna have to do something.
Yeah. You know what? And listen, if you're gonna have someone beat you, let them beat you that way. Don't let Wemby friggin' kill you, because he could kill you, man.
Don't let Wemby score 30 friggin' points a night, because he had 29 in game 2, 32 in.
The kid's a beast.
And then I think he had 28 in game 1, so he's been over 28 points every single game in the series.
I'm just
obviously they're down 2-1. I understand that, but he's obviously probably favorite for the Finals MVP.
Dude. He's definitely problematic. My thing is this: we need the Brunson show tomorrow, and that's it. The whole team. In
fact, actually, hold on. There's an even crazier stat. Unless Google's wrong, which has been wrong before with me. Not even a single player on the Spurs had over 10 rebounds.
Not even Wemby?
Nobody.
Wow.
Wemby had 8. Dylan Harper led the way with 9.
Interesting.
Imagine,
because look at all those.
What would have been the odds on Dylan Harper and Josh Hart leading the game in rebounds?
That kid is good though. That kid Dylan Harper, man. I like
Harper.
Him.
He's a pain, yes, but
he is.
I think
where's our player like that? You know what I'm saying? Well, this year it's been Shamet. Shamet's been
it, and he's not going to shoot 1 for 7 from 3 the whole way. No, I mean, you couldn't expect him to go 11 or 12 as well.
No, but you know what? He hits 3 of 7. We win the game.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying.
It's a different game.
It was just bad. They came out a little flat, and now you got to erase that and get right back to it. That's it. You got to win tomorrow night, and that is it.
That's exactly it, man. Anyway, what else we got, bro? You ready for tomorrow?
Not much. Just a reminder to all our fans that like to watch us. Next week, we will not be having a show, right? So we will be back in 2 weeks. And hopefully there'll be something to talk. Well, we're going to be talking about the Knicks, how we won the championship. Hopefully, fingers crossed. And hopefully we'll get some Jets news.
Yeah. Knock on that shit right now.
And then hopefully we'll get some Jets news, some good news, And let's go Jets and let's go Knicks.
Let's go Jets. Let's go Knicks. Everybody, again, hit that like button. Subscribe one more time. We appreciate you guys for joining. Let's go Jets.
Yes, sir.